All right. Tokyo Revengers episode 7. Before I even get into my favorite scenes and all that type of thing, let me just start by saying this really was my favorite episode. And mainly because of the comedy. Like, we got into this episode and, well, where we left off last episode, it was high stakes. Will Takamichi save everyone? This is the moment. When it comes to narrative, we can't really expect him to, pretty much change this moment now that I think about it, because otherwise, ain't the season over? And if everything went successfully here, Hina stays alive, Draken stays alive, and Alkun stays alive. They all stay alive if everything went perfectly here. Which it was fun to see Takamichi be in that scenario, watching him pretty much fail this mission, seeing the fucking fear in his eyes, because pretty much at the beginning, I don't know if it was the very first scene, but he's standing in between, I don't know what the fuck his name is, but he's the leader of the Mobius gang, and Mikey. He's right in the middle of them, and he's watching him. He's like, yo, this is the moment. The conflict is about to start right now. What the fuck? And this is the whole thing he was trying to prevent. And off the rip, the nigga get his ass whooped. I don't know what it is, but seeing this dude get his ass whooped, like, I don't think there's been one single episode where he wasn't getting his ass beat. And at this point, it's comical. This nigga stays getting fucked up. I fuck with it. One thing I was kind of wrong about, though, was Pa Chin. I thought he was going to be like some double agent, some dude that would be somewhat setting up Toman to fail by starting this whole little thing with the Mobius gang. Maybe he was in on it with them. Get these guys to meet in this area. We're going to pull up and then we're going to fuck them up. I thought it was going to be that type of scenario. I was wrong on that. However, I don't know if that whole interview scene when they met the dude at the diner in the future, the Mobius leader, I don't know if this is what he meant. Like, it wasn't our fault that they split up. It wasn't our fault that he died. All that happened because of Pa Chin, maybe. Pa Chin stabbed me, and therefore those dudes got in that little, fight, that feud. I don't know if that's necessarily what he meant, or if there really was a third party where they set up everybody and used Mobius as a threat towards the Toman. And I figured out what the fuck Toman even stands for. It's like an abbreviation for Tokyo Majin Gang. And whatever the fuck reason, I was thinking Majin, I would say Majin Gang, but I was thinking that was the gang from the fucking Boruto, like the whole little jail arc shit. But anyway, I was wrong on Pa Chin. Takamichi gets his fucking ass whooped. But here's what I mean. I wasn't expecting to really laugh so much in this episode with the stakes being so high, this being a mission. I thought it was going to be like a high suspense, high type of thing. But they always find a way to make you fucking laugh. So after Takamichi gets his ass beat, he's at the hospital. And it seems like every time he's waking up, like he's coming up from unconsciousness or he's just stepping into the future. Well, this is really the second time. But that girl, I think her name is Emma, the one who has a crush on Draken. So she's like consoling him and shit. This is a funny ass scene to me. And Hina walks in on them. She's crying on his lap, but it looks like he's getting that top. Nigga getting domed up and shit. And she pretty much walks in and he screams and shit. So that was funny. The moment where Draken fucking smashes this dude's puzzle. And every time Takamichi like yells or has a reaction, like similar to where he was talking out loud about Emma. Oh, I hope Hina doesn't find out about this. And then Hina pulls up to him like in the downtown area and he screams. Like he screams again. So every time this nigga has like I got pictures on my phone. I took my notes a little bit differently. But like if you go back and watch the episode, every time he has a reaction, it's fucking funny. The same way. And this also reminded me of the age group of the Toman, the Majin gang. Because essentially by the time we get to the end of the episode, you realize they're kids again. So both Draken and Mikey meet up. Well, not necessarily meet up, but they end up finding one another at Takamichi's house. They were going to go, talk to him, maybe recruit him for their sides. And they basically have a fight over who's friends with Takamichi. Like, he's my friend. What are you doing? No, he's my... Like, that's some childish shit. And that's what I really like about it. I don't know. I always say this. But when it comes to, I guess, anime in general, characters in general, I love it when they wrap contradicting themes together. So basically these are pretty much children, but they are finding themselves in adult situations. Another example would be, taken from the Naruto universe. One of my favorite characters, and niggas be going in on me for saying this, but Kimimaro, he's pretty much my favorite character of the series. Simply because that nigga got hands. He has like feminine traits. Like he has that long, beautiful fucking hair. He likes flowers and shit like that. So I fuck with like anytime they could just mix up opposing traits and make them mesh, make them work. My nigga Prince, the singer, that nigga looking like he got hoes and shit. The nigga like 5 feet. Well, he's dead now, but he had bitches looking like like, you know. but like that moment when they're there, they're fucking like Takemichi tries to stop the whole Draken and Mikey fight from happening, right? And Draken pretty much grabs him. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Mikey walks over, grabs his bike, throws that shit, and he's like, "My memories." That shit is funny. They're breaking that nigga's shit, and he's just having like a flashbacks of all the things. Like, dog, that was my baseball bat from the 4th grade, and I was in Little League and shit. Like, they're just destroying this nigga's shit, which is hilarious to me, dog. The one thing I will say about this, because in the original past life of Takemichi, he was never there to witness any of this shit. He was just, you know, kicking it with his homies, being a slave to some other type of gang. And that's difference enough. I think although he did fail this mission, him being involved, him being in the mix in any type of way, it still leaves hope for him to be successful, maybe to save Draken or to get deeper into the shit. Hopefully he's not responsible for Draken's death, because they kind of teased that. They kind of teased that at the beginning of the series where, well, not at the beginning of this, but like last episode, episode 6, where he kind of brought to them like, maybe we should just think about this, plan this shit out a little bit more. This might be a setup, you know. They kind of toyed with the idea like, oh my God, is Takemichi really going to be the reason why they split up? But now we find him trying to resolve things in this episode. He's trying to keep the peace. And like I said, he's actually there for this situation. Whereas in the original past, he was not there to begin with. He was not even involved with these niggas. They probably didn't even know his name. He probably got beat up by one of them in the past. But the main thing about this is the two philosophies between Mikey and Draken. Now, I don't know if it's starting to take a turn, because we do know the whole fight is because leaving Pa Chin behind and him getting arrested, right? Whereas before that even popped off, Mikey has this dope moment with Pa Chin. He's like, "Yo, you haven't lost." And what I take from that is he explains by saying, as long as I got y'all back, you can't lose. As long as I'm here, I'll never let you guys down. I'm not going to be the one to like leave you guys. So maybe that's where he feels a little bit mad at Draken. But I kind of thought like maybe because he stood his ground, he got his ass whooped, he was fighting pretty much unconscious, and maybe because he didn't give up, because that's something that Mikey also threw in there. Like, yo, he's still standing. Like, everyone's like, why can't you fight him? Like, should we stop this? He's gonna get murdered. Mikey's pretty much says, look, he hasn't gave up. So I think he had respect for Pa Chin in that moment. And then by the time, oh, and also I thought they be fucking with your emotions in this shit, bruh. So when that leader of the Mobius gang is rushing Mikey with that bottle, I thought, okay, this is where Draken fucking dies. However, Draken grabs him, puts him in the headlock, kicks him in the stomach, and then gives him the reason why he lost. In his definition, he lost because he left the delinquent path. He started raping bitches. He started fucking beating up old ladies, putting niggas in the hot, like, that's not the light. Like, he kind of has this old mentality of maybe what gang culture was. Like, yo, I don't even know. Like, I guess he just has standards when it comes to this thug shit. He got standards like, dog, we don't fucking do that shit. We don't fucking rape bitches. We don't do all that other shit. So we see, I guess, sort of a difference between the two. Draken was like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here. Because, hey, if you think about it, Pa Chin kind of went against the code that Draken believes in. He fucking murdered somebody after he fucking lost. And you seen Draken was like, yo, you're not going to leave your fucking leader here to the Mobius gang. Like, have some pride. He was over here, you know, trying to hold it down for his clique and shit. And y'all niggas are trying to run because the police coming. Like, have some pride. Take your leader and bring him with you. But I think where Pa Chin went wrong is the actual murder. Attempted murder. He stabbed the dude with a knife. Everyone was looking at him like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Where'd you get that knife from, bro? Like, we don't do that shit. Mikey's more so on the end of, we shouldn't have left him, where I believe Draken's on the end of, he shouldn't even try to attempt the murder, bro. Like, this shit was all done. Like, what the fuck you doing? We'll see. I do not believe it is the end for Draken and Mikey. As long as Takemichi's in the mix, we have hope, we have faith. But I looked in the fucking, because I actually watched the whole intro, the whole theme music intro song and all that shit, and they had a picture of Draken like pretty much laid out, bodied on the floor. So hopefully that's not one of those things where they're teasing his death or like pretty much showing you that he will die no matter what. But I don't know, man. We'll see what the fuck happens. I still got faith in my nigga Takamichi. This shit was gas. I'm really starting to believe that, and I know Jujutsu Kaisen isn't completed. Like, there's gonna be more seasons and it's gonna be fucking crazy. And I know it's gonna be some gas. But as far as like season 1 to season 1 goes, I'm fucking with Tokyo Revengers a little bit more. I know it's like different, whole nother different universes, whole different type of setups and shit. But Tokyo Revengers is that shit, dog. Like, this probably gonna be my number one for the springtime. It's this and 86. I fuck with 86, but this shit is more of a complete product for me. There's laughters, there's fucking suspense. Niggas is throwing hands and shit. Bitches is getting mouth and or giving that top allegedly. It's like, it's different type of shit going on in this anime. I fuck with it. So peace, y'all. Take care. See y'all niggas next time. Saturday, I will for real try to drop this shit. I forgot what the fuck happened to me on Saturday. I don't know, nigga. But peace. Take care, niggas.